Hanging out here with the newest member of the Phillies rotation, Jesús Luzardo. Jesus, welcome to Philly, first off.
Thank you.
What do you think of the city so far?
It's been great. I mean, the weather's been good. The food's great. The fans are great, so I've been loving it.
Food is great. What have you tasted so far? Because that's always like the first question people ask, like Philly, the food. What are you getting?
I mean, first I was a Philly cheesesteak.
All right.
And then just a lot of Italian food so far. So, but it's been great. I've been enjoying my time.
You know where you got it from? The Italian?
I tried Saloon.
That's the one.
John's roast pork for the Philly cheesesteak. So I've been trying to hit all the main spots.
Someone gave you a good list.
Yeah.
Saloon is the spot where it's at. You haven't played in this ballpark as a member of the Phillies just yet. You will, but having been here on the opposing side, what do you know about this place? Like, what have you learned in your time here?
I mean, the fans get loud. The atmosphere gets really, really good, really intense, and I think that's something that drives a lot of players and brings the best out of people. For the most part, especially being on the home side. You hear the fans cheering behind you and getting excited for certain parts of the game. I think that motivates you a little bit more.
So you'd say this is a tough place to pitch?
Oh yeah, if you're on exactly. If you're on the opposing side, it's definitely tough. And on the home side, I think it adds that extra level of motivation for you.
For the fans that don't know you just yet, how would you describe yourself, not only as a player, but as a person too?
I would say it's pretty laid back, kind of low key. Just like to spend some time with my family, play some golf, and I enjoy my time on the baseball field.
Lefty swing?
Lefty swing, yeah.
Nice. Same, actually. Going back to the off season, were you surprised that the Phillies traded for you? What was that? What was the level of surprise, I guess?
I was pretty surprised. Just coming from a division rival.
Yeah.
Wasn't really sure. I heard my name floated around a couple times, but being off all social medias, I kind of just was away from all the noise. So when I got that call, it kind of shocked me, but at the same time, I was surprised and excited. Looking forward to coming to a team like this, with this much talent and this much experience.
So you're off of social media completely?
Yeah, no social media.
Ever? You've never?
I used to have, but probably about over a year now.
Yeah, that just decided, gotta.
Just that's not my style.
Not your style.
Yeah.
I like it. It's tough to do that. So kudos for you. 2 years ago, you had the huge breakout. As I lose my microphone here, you had the huge breakout. Last year, the injuries. Like how difficult was that for you personally to deal with that?
It was tough. Just going through a whole year of not feeling like myself, and then I felt like letting your teammates down, not being able to go out there and throw every 5 days. But my main focus was just being able to get back as soon as possible and as healthy as possible. And then now I'm happy to be back, 100%, feeling good and back to being myself.
How different? Like we talked about how crazy the fans can be here. Miami and Oakland, where you were before, are certainly different. But how different is it walking into this clubhouse, into the stadium, front office, all that stuff?
Significantly different. You can just feel the atmosphere. You can feel the city, how excited fans are, how just the city in general. Everyone, knows the team, is excited about the team. Looking forward to coming to games. And it's something that I've never been a part of. At times in Oakland we had a little bit, but not as much as we do here. So it's something that I really enjoy, and I like being a part of that.
Were you bummed to see the A's having to go to Sacramento?
I actually really enjoyed my time in Oakland. And that might not be the most popular take, but the Coliseum was great, and I liked the grittiness of it, and making teams come see us in Oakland. So it is what it is, and they moved to Sacramento, but I enjoyed my time there.
Philly's obviously bigger, but the fans are kind of similar in that
blue
way.
Collar, hardworking. I enjoy being part of towns like that, where it's not, I feel like everything's earned when you're there. So I like it. I feel that same energy here.
It's really cool. Bummed to see them go. What's it been like for you, getting to know everyone in that clubhouse as the new guy?
It's like going to a new school when you're younger, but it's also nice, being able to face them so much in the last 3-4 years that it almost felt like we knew each other just from across the field, and a high level of respect for all the guys in there because I've seen them and see how they go about their work, and having to face them. And now I felt like it was an easy, transition over here. They accepted me and welcomed me in and never made me feel like an outcast. So, super appreciative to them for that. And it's been great so far.
Do you remember who the first few guys were that you talked to after you found out you were coming?
Yeah, I mean, Harper called me within maybe 30 seconds of the trade, and then Wheeler reached out. I mean, a bunch of guys reached out. Schwarber reached out, so it was cool to see, like the older, the veteran guys really reaching out and making sure that, I felt welcome.
Harper got the notification on the phone. He's like, let me just hit this guy up real quick. That's awesome. So JT, obviously your catcher, JT Realmuto, one of the best in baseball, one of the best at calling games in the league. He said that it's like having a 1 and 2 4s. Is that how you guys see it? Do you see it's like maybe 5 1s on this staff? You guys could be that good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone on the staff has a lot of experience and a lot of, ability, talent. And I think that, when we're all pitching well and we're on the right track, it's a force to be reckoned with for sure. I think there's so much talent and so much experience, and that everyone can kind of feed off each other and bounce off ideas off each other. The lefties and the righties, all just mixing and matching. It's great. It's been awesome so far throughout spring and throughout the season.
How different is it for you then, being in the position you're in now, to like pick the brains of guys like Nola and Wheeler that have been around forever?
Yeah, I mean, those are guys that I've been watching for a long time.
Yeah.
So now being able to share a clubhouse with them and a dugout and ask them certain questions, and they're obviously super welcoming to questions and willing to help. So I think that it's nice to have veterans like that are willing to help and give you any tips for you moving forward.
When you watch them, like, what are you taking? Like, what pieces of them are you trying to take? The work ethic, like certain tweaks on the pitch. What is it?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's kind of different. Me being a lefty, them being righty, and Nola's a little bit different than I am, and Wheeler the same thing.
Sure.
But there's bits and pieces. The work ethic, the preparation, how they go about. It might be their bullpens or their catch play, what they focus on, what they think about on a certain pitch. So little things like that. Anything any cue that helps them, that might help me.
When you look around and you see Harper and Schwarber and Castellanos and Turner, like, it's a crazy level of talent within that clubhouse. That sort of, you walk in, you're like, it's pretty cool. I don't mind this.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. When you take a step back and you think about it like that, I have a lot of friends, a lot of family ask me that question. And when you take a step back and you think about it, it is crazy to view it in that way. But at the same time, when I got here, I just realized, everyone's just another guy, coming to work,
sure.
Going about their business. They got families at home that they spend time with their kids and their parents and their wives, the same as, we all do. So it's cool to see like the human side of it, and how, we're all just guys trying to make a living and go about our day.
I wanted to ask you about adding the sweeper to your repertoire. What goes into adding something like that, and how long does it take to make you feel comfortable when you say, like, I'll be ready to throw that in an actual game?
Yeah, I mean, it took all spring, for me, first having the body get like acclimated to a new pitch.
Okay.
It's kind of different on the body in general and the way, the way you throw it. But once the body gets used to it, building it into the bullpen sessions, then building it into games, trying it in different scenarios,
sure.
different counts, different hitters, and really kind of fine tuning it to see where it works and where it doesn't. And I think throughout spring, we did a good job of that. We had good and bad results with it, but that's what spring was for, just to kind of find out when we could throw it and where we could use it.
Walk me through like your goals individually speaking, and as a team. I mean, I know it feels like around here, World Series or bust. Is that how you view it? And how about for yourself individually?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say World Series or bust, but I mean, I think the goal for everyone is obviously World Series.
Yeah.
That's the only thing in mind. You could feel that from the second that, I showed up to spring. That's the only thing we talked about. Everyone, we want to win the division. You want to go win the World Series, but and that should be everyone's goal, and it is in here. But for me personally, I mean, I want to make 33 starts, be healthy all year. I think every pitcher in there wants to win a Cy Young and
sure.
Be an all-star as well. So for me, I think the health is the biggest thing. I just want to be healthy all year, be able to help this team however I can, whatever they ask of me. That's what I want to do.
Before I let you go, so my last name's Gallen. I carry around this Gallen can that has questions in it. Do you want to pull a couple out and we'll answer them and see? It could be anything. It's usually stupid, but
If your car broke down and you needed a teammate to pick you up, who would you call? It's a good question.
So I know you don't know the guys that well, all of them, but like, who's the first person? It's got to be Harper. He was the first person to call you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would have to pick one of the guys that doesn't have a family, so it wouldn't feel too pressured to leave their family. I'd probably call like Joe Ross or something like that. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one. How about one thing you'd love to do now that you're in Philly that you haven't yet?
Run up the Rocky steps. That's something that I always thought about. Once I got traded, I was like, I got to go do that.
Heck yeah. Perfect. Good tourist spot. Got to go inside the art museum too. It's really cool.
Do I have a pregame meal? Honestly, nothing specific. When I was younger, in the minor leagues, I used to eat a whole pepperoni pizza the night before, but times have changed. I'm a little older now, so I try to keep it on the healthy side.
You feel that a little bit more these days, right? So far, funniest guy on the roster?
Oh, that one's tough. We got a lot of funny guys. I'd say Ranger and Alvarado are the two class clowns.
Yeah, they are pretty funny. Let's see if we can cruise through these. Have you been to Wawa?
I have. There's actually Wawa back home.
I was gonna say.
So I've gone to a bunch, and I love going to them.
Yeah. Do you have like an order? A lot of people have the set order.
No,
that they go
no set
with.
order.
No, I'll have to work on that. It's a very Philly thing. Out of all of your teammates, what's the most impressive thing you've seen from like one specific teammate? So if you had to think about one guy, like what's the craziest thing you've seen?
I mean, there's a lot. I would say Jordan Romano in the bullpen. I haven't seen it personally, but his routine in the bullpen, like when he gets locked in, he's just dialed in. Yeah, I mean, he's the nicest guy, very chill guy, but when he's locked in, he's on go mode.
You flip the switch, you become like a different guy. Heck yeah. How many unread emails on your phone?
Over 10,000.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Those people that clear them out, man.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, no way. He's got time. It's all junk mail anyway. Musical artists you listen to that might shock some people.
I've listened to John Denver a good bit lately.
All right.
Yeah.
Take Me Home, Country Roads. Is that John Denver?
Yeah, it is.
It is John Denver. Cut? No, that's John Denver. What's the story behind the rec specs?
The story behind the rec specs was growing up, the fields that I played on sometimes weren't great, so the lights weren't great, and I couldn't really see the signs all that well and fly balls off the bat when I played the outfield. So I still have the same lenses that I had since I was like 10.
Get out of here.
And I have the rec specs that I had back home, my first pair
Sure.
Of goggles. But now it's just a confidence thing.
Sure.
Obviously the lights are a lot better and I don't need them to see, and we don't even use signs. But for me, it's like, I don't want to say an alter ego, but it's like I flip the switch when I throw my glasses on.
I love that. All right, we cleared them out. Last one. Favorite start time to pitch?
Daytime game.
Daytime? Sure. Yeah, like 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock?
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. When the sun's out, I like to throw.
Do you prefer the shadows?
The shadows are always nice, but I just like day games. I think, waking up, going to the field right away, it's not as much like time off.
Heck yeah.
I just like getting to the field and going and doing it.
Jesus, we really appreciate the time. Good luck this year, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jared, thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate you letting us into the Victus headquarters here. We're holding the bat that has taken the nation by storm, the Torpedo bat. But before we get into the bat, you started Victus 15 years ago now? Is that how long it's been?
Yeah, 14 years, I guess.
14 years?
Been making bats for 15, though, yeah.
What made you want to get into the game?
I mean, I've always been a fan of the game, and it was one of those things for me that is a way to be connected. It started out as a hobby and then kind of turned into a passion play and then turned into a business, and here we are 15 years later, right?
Were you like into wood shop in school? Like, is that how it started?
I wasn't. No, I had no woodworking background whatsoever, honestly. It was just one of those things, you'd start diving into it, you obsess over it, we watch YouTube videos, how to do certain things, and you just constantly pay attention to quality, service, and delivering the product on time. That, for us, was the name of the game early on.
Yeah.
Innovating, you see all the custom bats back here. That's kind of how we separated ourselves from day one.
When you started 14 years ago, like, what was the goal then?
The goal was to do something I enjoyed for a living, quite honestly. Like, it was one of those, like I said, always been a fan of the game, wanted to be closer to the game and do something. I was working at a steel mill at the time, quit that job and ended up coming up with a business plan and starting Victus shortly thereafter. Turned a hobby into a business, and just wanted to do something I enjoyed, and it's turned into this official bat of MLB, which is pretty wild.
That's wild. What was your baseball fandom like growing up?
I mean, I was a big Phillies fan.
Yeah.
But Harrisburg Senators were close to home, so I'd always go to Senators games to see Vladimir Guerrero Sr. was there.
Now we're going way back.
Yeah. I mean, that was when I was 12 years old. So for me, just being around the game always, I played growing up, played through high school, played in college, and then got injured, and then kind of went away from the game for a few years. And then at 26 years old, I was like, got back into it, started playing some home leagues, and then started making bats out of the garage.
Talk about, the rise of this, like, humble beginnings to where you are now. Like, along the way, what were some of the maybe trials and tribulations that you had to go through to get here?
No, I mean, Ryan and I were sleeping at the shop back in 2012. Literally, broke, just working every day, just working our butts off and literally sleeping in our offices, showering at the gym. So we've come from those humble beginnings, quite honestly, and now to see where the business has come, we got over 60 employees now, an incredible team that's really made this what it is today.
Was there a moment where you saw this thing take off? Was there someone who got their hands on this thing where you thought, this is it here?
Several moments, I mean, started with Johnny Gomes in the World Series in 13, Game 4, that 3-run homer he hit. That was one of the big moments. Then Bryce Harper in the home run derby down in D.C. We just had that. It seemed like we were constantly building this momentum from day one and really just kept that ball rolling.
Who comes up with the ideas for, like, the paint jobs? Obviously, the crayon, the pencil, bat has been, it's been everywhere. Everyone's got one.
So our in-house artist is the Bat King, Bruce. Yep. He's our main designer, I would say, but the ideas can come from anywhere. The pencil bat was Bruce's son's idea. So literally we have a creative bunch, and we don't like to stifle innovation and ideas. We try to encourage it. So I think that the great ideas on that wall probably come from anywhere, honestly.
And now that you're working so closely with all these different major leaguers, how often are you in contact with them, not only about what the bat feels like for them, but what it looks like?
Yeah, I was going to say, with these torpedoes, we've been in contact quite a bit lately.
I bet.
So recently, I mean, I bet between Marucci and Victus, we have probably 55 to 60% of the league. And I bet you half of them at least have reached out, inquiring, asking questions, and wanting samples. So for us, I would say typically like guys will reach out every couple weeks, checking in if they're working on some models more often. But with these, man, it's been nonstop, honestly.
So 55 to 60% of the league now. But when you first got a Victus bat into the hands of a Major League Baseball player, what was that feeling like? Were you like, oh my God, don't shatter on me?
First it was terrifying for that reason. But then once you got over that, I mean, it was incredible. We watched every at bat. I mean, from Kyle Seager, Adam Jones, Markakis. Like, I remember vividly sitting there watching those games and getting fired up. If a guy would hit a double, I'd feel like we were on top of the world. Like, we felt like we were part of it. And so kind of grown off of that for the past 14 years, got to the point we are now. I mean, we still watch games. We're still passionate about the game. We're into it, that's for sure.
So talk about what we're all talking about right now, the torpedo bat. What's the science behind it, and how long has this really been a thing? I mean, it's not just a week old.
Yeah.
The Yankees coming out hitting all those home runs, Ellie De La Cruz goes off. It's been around for a little bit.
Yeah, so I think our first introduction was last spring training. It was one of the things that got brought to us. Orioles and Yankees were both simultaneously kind of pushing this idea. And then for us, as soon as we heard it, it made sense. I mean, the concept is you take that weight out of this area down here that's not going to perform anyway, and you move it into the area where if you do miss hit now and you get jammed a little bit, with this bat, you can shift that sweet spot a little closer to the hands. You're going to have better performance a little below. I like to say, if you think about metal bats versus wood bats, the metal bat sweet spot is actually lower towards the hands than a traditional wood bat. So this kind of takes that and shifts it down into an area where it's going to perform a little bit more like a metal bat than it will a wood.
You've been talking to the Yankees, to the Orioles, again, nothing new, but over the weekend, when the Yankees hit 9 home runs in a game, and some of the guys are using that, were you like freaking out?
Yeah, I mean, it was just this groundswell that kind of came from nowhere. Then you see them set the record. Nate and Doug and Tommy were at the game, so
they were there.
Yeah, we're all texting about it while it's happening, and then to realize the torpedo, and then to see the news and to see the cycle, and really to have the players start reaching out as many as they did. That's when we kind of knew there was going to be a thing.
Are you guys like, you mentioned earlier that you used to sleep here. Are you sleeping here now, trying to get all these out? Everybody wants one now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now we'll definitely working some overtime this weekend just to help keep up. But it's something for us that launching it on our website to the general public so that they have the opportunity to try it as well. On top of all the pros that want to try it,
Sure.
This is busier than spring training for us, honestly.
You said that Alec Bohm asked for them. Bryson Stott, you've been in touch with, and you gave him 6 of these. How many of a certain bat are you normally sending to a guy? Not specifically this bat here, but in general, when you're sending them a box, like what are they asking for?
Yeah, so spring training, we usually load guys in with 12 or 24, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
And then throughout the season, it's kind of a refresh of 6, 4 at a time, sometimes 12 at a time. If it's a guy who doesn't change his model ever, we feel comfortable sending 12 at a time. But there's certain guys you only want to get them 4 because they're probably going to tweak before the next time they order again.
Really interesting. It's pretty crazy. The sport's been around for like 150 years. And then over the weekend, I mean, I think it's kind of safe to say like the game has shifted dramatically just because of one little tweak in the bat. Is that like crazy to think about?
No, I mean, our model's always been change the game since we started, quite honestly. So for us, it was designs of the outside of the bat, the inside of the bat, all those things. So yeah, I mean, we're here for it, man.
What's your favorite style? What's your favorite
the
piece of artwork? Is there something on that wall?
The most iconic one's that pencil bat over there. I mean, that thing that's one Stott used in the Little League Classic a couple years ago. So for us, that's just the coolest, most fun. It's great when you go out to a Little League game, you see a couple kids out there with their pencil bats. It's just a tremendous feeling.
Talk about changing the game. Where do you go from here?
I mean, we just keep innovating. If it's something new that has to do with wood bats, metal bats, we're going to be there for it. So whether it's taking the Torpedo and putting it into a metal bat line, we're already and have been testing that. That'll be something that we see if it makes sense or not. But I mean, we got the axe handle, we got puck knobs, we got torpedo barrels. We're constantly innovating on the bat itself to increase performance.
What goes on in this room right here through that glass?
The batting cage right there, that's where we do all of our product testing. So pros come in, they want to make tweaks to their bat. We're going to take them right in there and get them dialed in to what they need to use. And it's not just pros. We allow anybody to come in here. We have our whole wall in there of bats to be tested. And we like to fit you for your wood bat.